What's going on, folks? This is once again gonna be a PvZ series. The day before Inauguration Day. Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen in this country. So, hold on to your butts, folks. We've got a banger here. Not talking about this series. Talking about the next 4 years, of course. Anyways, like I said, PvZ, ZVP, between two familiar foes. The Red Zerg, Yellow Jello, and the Pink Protoss. Timbo Slice. Best of... how many? I don't know. Let's call it... how do I make it more than 9? Hold up. Alright, we're just gonna call it a best of 9 for now. And, pretty standard openings. Didn't catch the exact timings because I wasn't paying attention. I'm sure they were suboptimal. We've got second gas coming down for the Protoss player. Cybercore finishing up. Expect to see a Robo and a Twilight shortly. On the Zerg side of things, we've got double Queens coming. Ling Speed on the way. No additional tech just yet. No third in sight just yet either, which is a little late at this point. We do have a single adept here, and that's not a full wall. It's kind of an awkward looking wall. Maybe the second adept will plug that up, but you do kind of want a you want a better wall than this against Zerg. Sure, Yellow Jello is not really a Ling Flood type of guy, but you still want to do your due diligence, and I don't know, I feel like Lings could squeeze by here, but I doubt that will happen. Twilight Council researching glaives for the adepts, so that indicates a heavy adept style plus 1 attack as well. Gonna need more gateways, only 2 and a third one making. I guess not too many minerals in the bank just yet. Yellow Jello is the one floating a little bit of money. We do have a Baneling nest on the way, so that's gonna be good against adepts. Adepts, of course, are light units, which Banelings do bonus damage against. Adept's gonna shade out right past this Zergling. I don't know if Yellow Jello was paying attention to the minimap. Adept's now almost at the Zerg base, and no reaction here out of Yellow Jello, so I guess he must have missed it. This is gonna be trouble. 6 adepts. They do not have their upgrades yet, which is good news for the Zerg player. However, they will be finishing in about, well, there it is, 10 seconds for the glaives, and about, I don't know, 15 or so for the weapons. So the timing a little bit sloppy, should still get some pretty decent damage done. 4 drones already. There's going to be another queen going down, and all behind this, Timbo neglecting his macro. Look at his money floating on up, but that's quite a substantial amount of damage. 9 drones, 10. I think a queen or 2 as well. 1 queen. So not bad. Not too shabby at all. However, like I said, he was neglecting his macro. So we see supply counts actually favoring the Zerg player, crazy enough. These Adepts just hanging out in the middle. Luckily for the Protoss, these Lings didn't run out to eat them up. And looks like Timbo going for round numero 2. This time he does have the Glaives upgrade. He does have +1. So this might be able to do a lot of damage. Doesn't look like Yellow Jello really made too much army. Does not have Banelings morphed. Does not have his upgrades either. So let's see how this goes. I'm not sure why Timbo's running there, but he is going to split up his Adepts, and this is going to be so difficult to deal with. Definitely going to tax the multitasking of Zerg. And look at that, he pulls drones from the main, but the natural pretty much forfeit. Look at that. Drones being pulled off the lines, some still trying to mine. 25 drones down, and Yellow Jello being spread very thin right now. 28 drones down. These Adepts have run out of things to shoot. The main base ones did get taken out, but at what cost? 32 drones going down, and potentially more if these guys do something. But looks like they are just gonna stand there and die. Or not. 1 Adept! Oh no! Make that 33 drones. And, yeah, this is pretty bad news for the Zerg player. However, it's not over quite yet. I mean, he has 3 bases. He's still got a good number of queens. So he can inject mass drones and catch back up. As we see, he's already almost even on drones again. And in terms of tech, it's going to favor the Zerg player, because what does Timbo have is just gateway tech. He does have a Robo, but I don't think he has any Robo units. And here comes a little Baneling attack. Only 5 Banelings? What? That wasn't it, Chief. Why would you just go for 5 Banelings? So Yellow Jello kind of just throwing away money there. He doesn't really have enough to throw away, so questionable decision there. As I was saying, he does have more tech. He does have player tech. He's got a Hydralisk Den. Don't think there are any Hydras on the field just yet, but we've got a few spawning now. Timbo's still leading in supply, but it's not as big of a lead as I would have anticipated, considering he killed 40-something drones in this game. 43 drones, and a whole lot of other stuff at the cost of 13 Adepts. That's a pretty good trade, if you ask me. Sitting pretty on almost 3 bases of saturation. We've got a pretty fearsome Zealot Archon army. Gonna be very vulnerable to Banelings, so you gotta watch out for those. Yellow Jello working away on the rocks again. I guess you're doing something, but that's not the most important thing to do. Those rocks, maybe like clear up rocks along, well, Timbo's gonna do that, but I was gonna say just clear up rocks on the map, create more paths. Generally that favors Zerg a little bit. More avenues to run around, look for flanks. I'm not sure if Yellow Jello really looks for those or considers those, but it's usually a good idea to try to go for a surround. Let's see how these Banelings do. Not good enough is the answer. It looks like Timbo should be able to just steamroll this. Hydras by themselves are pretty poopy. Hydras in general tend to be quite poopy. That they just get melted on up. Looks like this should be the game here. GG gets called, and Timbo striking first. Welcome back. This is game number 2 in this series, and we're looking at the main base of the man who won that first game with a spicy little adept attack, double-barreled strike, if you will. First one didn't do too much, but second attack was quite fearsome. Best of how many? I don't know, Timbo. Yellow Jello says 7, so alright. Guess we solved that riddle. So, yeah, I like that game out of Timbo. Proving he can do more than just sit back, go robo, go observer, and chill. And that's important in matches. What's also important? Being a nuisance to your opponent, delaying the expansion here. Forcing your opponent to get a later expansion at a base that they probably don't want to take as their natural. So, good a little early game here. Would like to see this canceled. Ooh! Okay, I see you, Timbo. So good move there, yeah. Saving a little bit of money there. Of course, you don't need that pylon there any longer. But Yellow Jello looks like he went full first. I must have missed that. Wasn't really paying attention. So we've got 8 lings on the field. Sorry, 6 on the field, but about to be 8. There we go. So looking for a little bit of early pressure. Now here, this Timbo wall might bite him in the behind because one Zealot not going to be enough to plug this up. One Zealot not going to be enough to defeat 8 lings either. So ruh-roh, this is bad news. Second Zealot being produced, but he is quite a ways away. Cute little micro there from Yellow Jello, pulling back the 3 weakened lings, and now this pylon is in danger. Zealot, can he get out? No! Oh no, the humanity! Probes now being forced to pull off the line. Gonna take some probe damage there. 3 going down. No, make that 4 and perhaps 5. Yes, 5 going down. Maybe 6? No. We cannot get a 6th. But 5 probes, 3 minutes in the game. That is pretty big damage already. And yeah. Nice little response from Yellow Jello after that first game, showing that he too can get a little bit aggressive. And this wall, I'm gonna need more. second unit here. Gonna be an adept. And I guess I can sort of plug that up. So both players sitting on 2 bases right now. Definitely would like to see some chrono boosts on the probes, especially considering you lost a lot of mining time as well as 5 probes. So you do want to replenish that ASAP as possible. Lots of energy on these Nexi as well. So spend those chrono boosts. It's often overlooked, but you know, just getting those probes out faster, they can mine sooner, it makes a difference. So definitely something Timbo needs to improve there. Third base for Yellow Jello has completed, starting to drone that up. Let's see, how's his rallies? Okay, it's a pretty normal rally now, setting everything to that base. 2 adepts gonna just walk right on in. Let's see if they can get any damage done. They do get 1 drone, 2 drones, 3. Okay. So equalizing the worker damage there from the early game. Of course, 5 drones 5 minutes in is not as substantial as 5 drones 3 minutes in. But it's something. Timbo still trailing quite a bit in workers. Probably microing that a little too much there. Now floating 700 minerals. And what has he got back at home? He's got this Twilight Council. Just finished Zealot Charge upgrade and double Robo. Whoa! Now is this a response to that Roach Warren? I wonder. But double Immortals? Gonna be really good against Roaches. Immortals, of course, absolutely shart on armored units. Only 1 probe on this gas. Not sure if that is intentional. I would venture to say it is not, because typically want a lot of gas as Protoss. Their units quite in gas heavy. Finally spending those chrono boosts. Look at how much energy is on these Nexuses. Nexuses? I don't know. But those 2 popping on out going to be very importante. The shield battery also going to be quite importante in this upcoming hold. Here comes Yellow Jello, Roaches, and Lings coming on in. These Immortals right on time. Shield battery right on time as well. And that is a very clean, easy peasy hold. Zealots with charge going to chase down these Roaches. Yellow Jello should definitely recognize that and just fight to try to do a little damage. Otherwise, they just crumble like that. And looks like Timbo going for... Well, hold that thought. Never mind. Not going to go for a counterattack. I do think it might have been successful. I mean, Roaches, as we said, not very good against Immortals, but... Alright, he is going for the counterattack. I don't know why he waited, gave his opponent an extra 10, 15, whatever seconds to prepare. Now, I don't think this is going to be too great. He's got some Banelings, a lot of Lings, more Banelings being morphed in, and yeah, this ain't it. You gotta leave, recall, do something. Oh no. Recall does come down, but too late. I don't think any of those got out, and this is mucho not good. Timbo at 61 supply, that is about half of his opponent, trailing 20 workers, and the army count absolutely abysmal. He's even moving out. I don't know, Chief. Does he see this? I think he should have caught a glimpse of that. Don't want to be out here. Don't want to be in there either. I don't know what you can possibly do other than GG, which you will be seeing imminently as the Zerg army just walloped the Protoss, and that should be all she wrote for game number 2, as Yellow Jello busting down the wall, busting down Timbo Slice, and evening up the score. Game number 3 here. We are all tied up 1 apiece. Good little cheeky Ling pressure in game number 2. And following that up with a pretty strong Ling, Roach, Ravager, Baneling attack. So we're tied up. What have these guys got in store for us here in game number 3 on Amphion? I don't know what Amphion means, but it sounds cool. Probe going across the map. Gonna try to block that hatchery. Not gonna be able to do that this time around. I don't think Yellow Jello did anything different. That looked like a 16 hatchery. So maybe just the travel distance a little bit longer causes that probe to not be able to block that. So already a good start here for Yellow Jello. We've got some fences here with barbed wire, so a little bit scary. I don't know why. Why do you need barbed wire on the fences? Why are the fences not even all the way around the perimeter? It seems like a questionable defensive choice here for whoever created this facility. Like why do you leave these little spots open specifically for stuff to jump in? I don't know. You gotta have a talk with the architect or the designer for this. Does not make a whole lot of sense. Why have these fences when you got this giant ramp? Anyways, yeah, it doesn't really do much. Double queens on the way. It looks like Yellow Jello is gonna start working away on these minerals, this mineral wall, so you can perhaps take this third base. I don't know. This is gonna take a little bit of time. Why not just go for the third over there, which it looks like he is doing. So okay. And this kind of just opens up your base for more attacks. Like you can sneak in through the front, you can sneak in through the back. Not sure why you really want to open this up, unless you're going for some kind of cheekiness. Maybe run your Lings all the way around, try to mine out these as well, but that's a lot of work. We do have a Stargate here for Timbo Slice. Puts that right at the front of his ramp, so Yellow Jello poking up with the Ling's gonna spot that. No problem. Double spores on the way. And I like this. This is a reactionary spores. to seeing that Stargate. We have previously seen Yellow Jello go for just blind spores, which I never like because you're wasting a drone, you're wasting those minerals, and oh, losing that Oracle. That is a big boo-boo there for the Protoss player. You definitely don't want to do that, and that is, oh my god, I would just leave right now. Didn't even do anything. He got one drone. Ugh. You hate to see it. He doesn't even know if he got anything. What is this man doing? Oh lord, oh lord. Phoenix on the way now just to clean up overlords, I presume. Or maybe he just wants to chill here and take a look at these questionable barbed wire fences. Okay, gonna get one overlord. Should be able to find these two as well. That's nice. Yellow Jello going for a double Evo. Lair on the way in the natural base. And I like that. Getting in the natural base, it gives this location a little more HP. Because if you lose the natural, 9 times out of 9, you are losing the game as well. Third base could use some more creep spreading out these queens. Well, this one has energy. You do wanna kind of get that out a little bit because this is naturally the more vulnerable base. So it's a little out in the open, more avenues for attack you. So you want that creep a little bit outwards so you can try to take more favorable engagements should an attack come your way. Hydralisk Den on the way once again. I mean, Hydras, they aren't that good, but they are required to get lurkers. And we all know lurkers are just ridiculous. They're so broken. So hopefully Yellow Jello is just getting these as a whatchamacallit, a transitionary or a whatever, a means to get lurkers is what I'm trying to say. These Phoenixes continuing to be a menace to the overlords. They have 3 and 1 kills, so not too shabby. Also forcing his opponent to get that overlord speed, which he may or may not have wanted to get. Now Yellow Jello has opened up this path. Gonna be getting that 4th location there. And Timbo now looks like it's just gonna be a primarily gateway army. He's getting a single immortal and continuing Phoenix production, which is a little bit odd. Not sure why you want more of those if you're not really fully committing to air. I think 2 Phoenix is plenty to clean up overlords. And this is nice too, just kind of harassing these drones, getting 2 of them. That's not bad. Make that 3. But yeah, like I said, you don't really need too many Phoenixes. That is, unless you're up against like Mutas or something. Does lose 1 there, so I guess it's okay to have some as a backup. Lots of energy on the Nexus again. Not just the main one actually, but you do want to spend that on, you know, like your storm upgrade, your attack upgrade. Oh, he is. Okay. That's not bad. Workers, fairly even. You typically want to be at like 80 by now as a Zerg player, maybe even more. But it looks like Yellow Jello thinking of an attack now. Morphing in a bunch of Banelings. So going to be a Linbane Hydra force. He does have that Lurker Den I saw. There it is. But doesn't look like he's going for them just yet. Yeah, Hydra's just... I don't like him. They did get that Hive upgrade, which helps them a little bit in terms of like survivability, closing the distance, but that's neither here nor there because the Hive is not done yet. Phoenix is caught snoozing, gonna pay the price. And ooh, look at that. Disruptors for Timbo Slice. Let's see how his disruptor control is. Disruptors are a very strong unit. They do crazy AoE damage, but they require a lot of finesse, a lot of careful control from the Protoss player. So I don't know how good Timbo Slice is going to be at doing that, but they do have potential. You can just send a ball into the cluster of units here and they just explode and you cry. The army is quite a bit bigger for Yellow Jello. Of course, Protoss units tend to be stronger, more devastating. So it's gonna come down to like the engagement, as it usually do. Like, are the Banelings gonna get the money connections? Are the Disruptors gonna get the money connections? Are the Storms gonna get money connections? And of course, we do have Lurkers on the field now. Seismic Spines, that is the range upgrade, so they have, I think, what is it, 9 or something range? I don't know, but it is so difficult to deal with a ground-based army. And Timbo does not see this massive Zerg force right outside his base, and this is going to be tough to hold. The Lurkers, especially. That is going to be the biggest problem. And now, finally, Timbo spots it. Maybe that was his chance to bounce while the Lurkers were not burrowed. But, oh, no. Baneling shot's pretty good. We had one Disruptor connection, but that Disruptor went down shortly after. And looks like... I'm not even sure. The Storms are pretty decent, but there are still Lurkers in the ground. And the Protoss army has evaporated. Still, what is that, 7 Lurkers, and I think we're gonna see a GG. There it is, Yellow Jello taking the lead, 2-1. Alrighty, game number 4 in this best of 7 series. We've had 3 games already. That's what it means to be on game number 4. We've had 3 of them. We are on numero 4. Game number 4 going to be contested on Amygdala. I believe that's a part of the brain. Don't fact check me on that. Just take my word for it. And no sus looking fences on this map. I like it more already. Do have this weird fourth, I guess potential fourth, but what I meant to say was gold base here in the middle where the minerals open up a path straight through. It's also very vulnerable for like harassment on the other side. Don't know if either player will be getting that. Looks like Probe was unsuccessful in blocking the hatchery once again. So Yellow Jello, I'm going to be quite content with that hatch first opening. And Timbo does unfortunately have to waste some time sending that probe over there. But he does get the confirmation that there is a tree. Cybernetics core first before the Nexus. I wouldn't mind saying Nexus first, honestly, if you see that hatch already. I think it should probably be safe to go Nexus before core. Not that it matters a huge amount, but just a little bit more economical, perhaps. Spawning pool moments away from finishing. Should be seeing double queens there. There it is. As well as the Ling speed. So everything timed out quite nicely. Overlord sees this opening from Timbo. And gonna be sitting on this air vent. Must be quite comfy there. I'm trying to figure out what this map is. Like, what is this? Like, why do we have, like, you know, these random little supply caches here? And why are they just like lying around? What is this? Some kind of radioactive, biohazardous material? Why is it called amygdala? I have so many questions. Like, we got these boxes lying around all over the place. What are these boxes? You know? Yellow Jello going to be working away on the rocks once again. Two Lings going to take about 73 years to break down the rocks. So we will check back on that in 73 years. Overlord looks like it wants to shoot. I mean, the Stalker wants to shoot the Overlord. But for some reason, it can't see it. It's just hiding in plain sight. But now, with the help of the Observer, Stalker is going to be able to get that. Resonating Glaives being researched once again out of the Twilight Council. So going to be perhaps a similar build to the first game. And I like that. He waits until the Overlord goes down before he warps in the additional Adepts. The second Overlord flying on into the main. Gonna spot the Robo, spot the Twilight. But nothing too surprising there. You could just assume this is Timbo's usual charge build, especially this Stalker, kind of making things a little bit mysterious here. Timbo going for Yellow Jello going for another Roach attack, perhaps, as 7 of them popping out at once. Is he gonna run across the map, trying to get some damage done? Looks like no. He's just gonna sit there. So I don't know what these roaches were really for. Third base not being utilized just yet, but we do have some Adepts coming on in. Resonating Glaives 5 seconds away from finishing. So they're gonna shade in. That's gonna let them take out drones pretty quickly. I would have liked to see them perhaps split again, but let's see how much damage he can get out of this. Only 2 drones so far, and running into the wall of roaches. So losing a few Adepts there. That's not ideal, but gonna catch a few more drones on the retreat. That's 7 total. And what is this? Why are you just hanging out here to die? No! Right, 2 of them actually do make it out alive. 7 drones going down. That's not too bad. Gonna put Timbo Slice ahead in workers. And he does spot the Roach attack out of his Zerg opponent. Immortals in production now. 2nd robotics facility to, I'm assuming, make more Immortals. 3rd base has completed for Timbo Slice, however, not saturated whatsoever. Getting gases 3 and 4 here, but not utilizing them. No additional tech just yet. No like Robo Bay. No transition to like a Templar Archives or anything. And it looks like a big Ling counterattack onto this 3rd base might be able to take it down. Timbo was grossly out of position. Not sure why that response was so late, but he does lose that 3rd, unfortunately. And that's bad. You shouldn't need me to tell you that, but losing 3rd base for essentially free is not good. We've got some Lings here and a Dropper Lord. Yellow Jello here cooking with oil. And let's see if Timbo is paying attention. Looking at his 3rd right now, not paying attention. Not paying attention, not paying attention, and here comes the drop. Whoa!
Glorious combat is upon
14 probes going down. Yo, Jello, getting some decent damage on there, but Timbo, he's got some ideas of his own. The big adept attack, shading into the main base all at once. Again, I would have liked to see him split these up. You saw how successful that was in the first game, right? Timbo saying WTF, not sure why. What are you WTFing about? Did he just realize that he lost all his probes, or is he shocked that his attack didn't do much? Either way, I think it is safe to say Timbo is on the ropes in this game number 4. As we see, he's trailing about 30 supply overall. And he's down on every metric. Down on workers, down on army, down on upgrades. Not sure what Timbo can do in this situation. Perhaps go for a cheeky Dark Shrine. A wise man once said, when behind, Dark Shrine. I don't know if Timbo knows how to go Dark Shrine. He could, in fact, just throw one down right now. He does have the prerequisite conditions, but perhaps not even thinking of it. Gonna be very difficult to survive in this game at this position. Yellow Jello looks like he is thinking of an attack once again. So is Timbo. So both players perhaps gonna be hitting at approximately the same time. Now I wonder if either of them is gonna run back, or are they gonna go full on base trade. I hope for the latter, because that gets a little wacky, and we love wacky over here. Here comes Yellow Jello. Now Timbo, what is he gonna do? Oh, come on. He walks back, he recalls, and that just ain't it. I mean, these units, just half your army, it's not gonna be enough. Just go for the counterattack. What are you doing here? You are already at your opponent's doorstep. Just go for the counterattack. I mean, now your units finally make it back, but you've lost like so much. I don't really agree with that choice. I mean, yeah, you cleaned it up, but at what cost? 32 probes to 57 drones. Your opponent is still relatively untouched. And yeah, this army, not very intimidating. And like I said, Yellow Jello is free to do his own thing back at home. Sure, his worker count not that high either, but 58 is greater than 35. Spoiler alert if you did not do that great in elementary school math. Another Ling Bane attack here from Yellow Jello costs him very little to go for this attack, but he takes out 9 more probes and softening up the Protoss army once again, and then just wisely backing up, just continuing to put the pressure on Timbo Slice, who is truly up against the wall now, and you might just be going for an all-in counterattack, but I don't know. This army doesn't really fill me with too much hope. Another Ling run by, almost said ring run by, and hitting multiple spots at once. Timbo doesn't even know what to do. Nothing in production, not moving his units. What is he doing? Oh Lord. And yeah, I don't think there's any coming back from this. He's gonna try to go for a base trade, but it's too little, too late. He doesn't even have enough bases to trade. And this is all just gonna go down. 2 probes remaining. They are here in this secret nexus. And let's see what this Protoss army can accomplish, if anything. I might take out a base, might take out 2 or 3, but I just don't see it taking out this army if and when Yellow Jello decides to come back and defend. This hidden base, perhaps if Yellow Jello just completely derps from this point forward, Timbo could have a chance, but the Lings do find it. This probe on a mission to throw down another Nexus does do that over here. This Nexus is gonna go down. Hopefully we see a cancel to preserve some minerals. You can make more extractors, pylons. Never mind, doesn't cancel it. So 5 minerals, that's all he has until this completes and he can mine again. Protoss army going to probably take out the main base of the Zerg, but doesn't matter. I don't think so. We've got a hidden base here for Yellow Jello as well. And don't forget the army supply, just absolutely massive here for Yellow Jello. Finds the Nexus as well, so that is going to be curtains for the Protoss player. And GG, Yellow Jello puts himself on match point. Right, this is the 5th and potentially last game. We're looking at the main base of the Protoss player, down 1 game to 3. Timbo Slice. And his red Zerg opponent, 1 game away from taking this series. It's Yellow Jello. Looks like it's gonna be a 15. Wait, was that 15? I think so. 15 hatch from Yellow Jello. And ooh, hello. Timbo going for a cheeky proxy pylon. Will Yellow Jello be able to sniff this out? Now, his next Overlord, I am assuming, would most likely fly in this direction. Now, will it be in time is the question, as we've got 3 gateways coming on down at this third location for Yellow Jello. He's still completely unaware, but he might spot this returning probe, which is a little suspect. But is that going to be enough to trigger any alarm bells for the Zerg player? That is the question. Zerg, the Overlord, not going to be coming this way to spot that. So that is no bueno. Gateways are done. Zealots in production. And we might see a very quick game number 5 here. It's triple chrono boost going down here. Timbo finally spending his chrono boosts. Yellow Jello gonna be in a bit of trouble as the Lings don't even spot that. Once again, working on the rocks. Looks like no, he is gonna scout instead, and he does finally spot it, but is it too late? Timbo's gotta go now. 5 Zealots. And what does Yellow Jello have? A whole lot of nothing. 2 desperate spine crawlers being thrown down, but they are quite a ways away from finishing. Drones being pulled off the line to fight. Is it going to be enough? Can he buy enough time for the spine crawlers? And even if he does, can he survive? Looks like no. GG gets called, and Timbo with a very cheeky build there, keeping his hopes alive. All right. Game number 6 in this best of 7 series. A very cheeky little build there from this man. The Pink Protoss Timbo Slice going for some very sharp cheddar cheese. Game number 5, a proxy 3-gate Zealot Rush. Didn't know he had it in him. Didn't know he knew how to be cheesy boy, but shouldn't be all too surprised. He is playing Protoss, the cheesiest of cheesers. Game number 6, he's already got a pylon in the main base, so not gonna see that again. But I think that would have been real cheeky if he went for the same proxy gateway build 2 games in a row. And it might have worked. We do see a hatch first once again from Yellow Jello. Not too surprising, honestly. You have to be more diligent with your scouting. That third base location should be relatively easy to scout. It wasn't like tucked away in some crazy location. Yellow Jello, he's going to be moving his Overlord now in a scouting pattern, so a little bit more diligent this game around. Still neglecting this location, but that doesn't really matter because it's not happening anyways. Nexus going down on this gold base. Now this is a double-edged sword taking this space because yes, you have access to these gold minerals, but that opens up this location for Ling run-bys or whatever. And of course, you can also be harassed from the other side of this. So it's a trade-off. You get that extra minerals, but you also make yourself a little bit more vulnerable. Yellow Jello, of course, took his natural at the outside base. Toolings gonna be scouting around, not gonna see anything, of course, but still gonna see if there's any funny business going on. Adept once again. Are we gonna see another resonating glaives type build? As the Twilight Council is halfway done. Big transfer, which is the right thing to do for a gold base. You want to saturate that up immediately. 12 out of 12 on that. So mineral income gonna be booming here for the Protoss player. Now what is he gonna do with that extra income? Looks like it is indeed gonna be resonating glaives. See the income tab here. Actually favoring the Zerg a bit because he has, well, I'm not even sure why. The gold should give Protoss the edge there. I guess maybe the 6 guys on gas. The Lings do spot this. Timbo's saying hello, and it's a little scary. As these get mined out, of course, opens up a hole there. Yellow Jello, what does he do with this information? He does have a Baneling Nest almost done. One cheeky little thing you can do is put a Baneling like right there and manually detonate it. The splash will be able to reach the workers. Wonder if he does end up doing that. A big warping of adepts here. We've got 4 in that gold base, 3 up here. Resonating glaives finishing. And so I'm not gonna go for an attack just yet. I mean, I feel like you could have moved out maybe 30 seconds ago. It's gonna be a little bit delayed, gonna run right past this Ling. So Yellow Jello should have spotted that, I hope. As the Lings on, the Adepts on their way now, and a sort of wall being thrown down here for Yellow Jello. Not sure why he used a Roach Warren here, because he does have another one in the main base building. Roach Warren costs 150 minerals. Evo Chambers only 75, so why? Here come the Adepts. They're going to take out one queen right away. Not sure why they're not shading. Maybe just saving that to escape or something. I don't know, but they are doing quite a lot of damage with their resonating glaives. Going to shade into the main. I wouldn't mind seeing half of them get canceled. Well, never mind, but gonna continue to cause havoc in the main base. 8 drones going down. 11 roaches on the way, so once those pop, this attack should be mostly completed. Now, focusing on the Roach Warren, I don't think that's the right choice. And not even gonna get the Roach Warren. It may be on fire, but that is just fake. Zerg buildings do not burn down like Terran buildings. And yeah, that was a lot of wasted damage on this Roach Warren. Would have preferred to see him shade elsewhere, I suppose. Damage was not bad. 32 workers to 25 of the Zerg, so Protoss is going to be ahead. However, all he has is Adepts, really, and Adepts not that great against Roaches, which are running across the map now. We are going to have one Immortal by the time they arrive, and a whole lot of Adepts. I do think that should be enough to hold. And I hope Yellow Jello does not stick around. A little bit of a wonky pathing there for Yellow Jello, losing I think 2 or 3 Roaches for free. And he's going to lose a whole lot more on the retreat, as these Zealots do have charge. And again, similar to, what was it, first game or whatever, just turn around, try to do some damage, because otherwise you're just losing everything. And everything he does lose. So, whoa, just gonna see a GG there. That's gonna bring us to game number 7. Welcome back. This is the 7th and final game in this series. I could not have scripted it any better. Gonna be El Dorado, the City of Gold. Now you might think all the bases should be gold bases, but that is not true. In fact, we only have gold here, and here, and here. But we've got some gold like under there. They've got like the Punisher icon. I'm not sure what that means. I know the Punisher doesn't have like a trademark on the skull, but in any case, you've got a lot of gold over here. Whoa! We've got a face. And not much gold on the rest of the map. So I don't know, a little bit misleading, the name of this map. What is this? Got some like Ewoks camping by the fire. That's interesting. Builds, nothing really to talk about. Patch first. Gonna be a Gateway Core Nexus. So, no cheeky shenanigans yet for either player. Double gas relatively early. Before the Nexus, even. So that's a little odd. Wonder what Timbo has planned with that. Overlord, you're gonna fly in and spot the Nexus. Nothing too surprising there. Hatchery finishes. Double Queens, as well as Ling Speed. 2 of these drones actually kind of wasting their payload. Actually, maybe only 1 of them. Yellow Jello, I'm gonna start mining away at this gold mineral wall to perhaps take this base, or maybe take the gold base, or maybe just claim the tower. I don't know. We will have to see. And I heard these Zerglings working away on these unbuildable rocks. Not an important thing whatsoever. And he actually stopped attacking them for some reason. Would rather just see them run across the map for some scouting. Looks like he is going to do that now. It's going to be a Stargate for Timbo Slice. Things rarely go well for Timbo when he goes Stargate. Let's see if this game will be the exception. Because we have a pretty decent wall for once with a cannon protecting it. This Zealot not quite centered, which kind of gives me a little pause, but as long as we don't see 10 lings running in, it should be fine. And the Stalker has a very important job, needs to deny the scout of this Stargate. Looks like Overlord gonna try to sneak in through here. Is the Stalker going to be able to deny that scout is the question. Does catch it pretty early. Let's see if he is able to get there in time, and it looks like nope, does get denied. So nicely done there from Timbo Slice. He does have to warp in a second Stalker, which probably isn't ideal, but denying that scout more important, and of course supply blocking his opponent as well. So bit of a mistake there from Yellow Jello not to have that extra supply when you fly that Overlord in. Some Zerglings trying to go for a scout, trying to see if that third base has been put down. It has not. We've got 2 Oracles making their way in now. Now in this type of situation, when your Overlord scout gets denied like that, I wouldn't hate blind spores. But let's see how much damage these guys end up doing. 5 drones going down. You gotta be very careful. Don't lose that Oracle. Come on, Timbo. Oh my god. 6 drones going down for 1 Oracle. I kind of prefer that for the Zerg player, honestly. Yeah, you lose a little extra minerals, but the gas is the more important resource. So yeah, that control a little bit lacking for the Protoss player. Does keep 1 alive. So that's something. Of course, it would have been much better to preserve both Oracles. Let's force out a Spore Crawler and a second one as well. So that's some indirect damage. Yellow Jello, relatively unfazed. Still sitting at a nice drone count. Getting a lot of stuff all at once. Maybe too much. We'll see if it bites him in the booty. Got 1/1 attack. We've got Overlord speed, we've got Roach speed, we've got Baneling speed, and did that other Oracle just fly into its death there? No, where's... oh, here it is. Gonna poke in with this Oracle, get another 2 drones, not too shabby, 3 drones, doesn't get away. Oh my god! Woo! 3 HP. A little too close for comfort, but does get away there, so decent. Got another cheeky Baneling drop, but only 3 for some reason. Morphing 2 more, but he can't even fit 2 more, so I don't know. Third base is completed, not quite saturated just yet. This wall as well is a bit lackluster. luster. And ooh, Yellow Jello going for Burrow as well as Tunneling Claws for his roaches. So he wants to go for some kind of cheeky little roach burrow shenanigans. Now here's that drop overlord coming on in. Is Timbo gonna spot this? He does spot it, does pull the probes away, and his Void Ray army does completely shut down that drop. However, does reveal his hand there with all those Void Rays. Now what is Yellow Jello gonna do in response? It looks like nothing. He is still committing to this Roach Burrow stuff. No anti-air being constructed. No Hydralisk Den, no Spire. He does have an Infestation Pit, getting a Hive as well. The lack of response to the Void Rays is kind of concerning. Let's throw out some more Spore Crawlers, which is not going to be too useful against mass Void Rays. We've got that Fleet Beacon as well, working on Flux Veins, which improves the movement speed of Void Rays, making them very annoying to deal with. We've got a single Infestor on the way. Fungal Growth, of course, can be absolutely devastating on anything it lands on, as long as you have the follow-up to clean it up, which it doesn't look like he will, unless he gets an absolute money fungal and corrosive bile wombo combo. It's not easy to land, however, so I wouldn't get my hopes too high up for that. Looks like Timbo going for a bit of an attack with his ground army, kind of just, I guess, distracting his opponent, perhaps cleaning up some creep, which is nice as well. These oracles providing the revelation. But this Zerg army, lots of Ravagers. Not sure why. And let's see how this army does. The Bile's gonna take out one of the oracles, and these Lings gonna clean up most of the ground army. Some of it does get recalled away. Timbo trailing quite heavily in supply, but a lot of that Protoss supply is a Void Rays, which is not gonna be too easy for Yellow Jello to deal with. He's got one Infestor, two more on the way, it looks like. So, yeah. I don't know why he is taking this so lightly. No Hydras, no Spire. But the longer this game goes on, the more scary this Protoss Sky Fleet will become. Third Stargate finishing up. We've got carriers on the way now. A lot of money in the bank for both players, so Timbo should definitely be utilizing that third Stargate. It looks like Yellow Jello perhaps thinking of going down the southern path to Oracles, try to get some damage, maybe try to beam down these Infestors. That would be nice. But he's gonna follow this Zerg army. Just gonna harass these Ravagers. And he's gonna get a few of them, which is nice. Here comes Yellow Jello with a big Lingbane Ravager army. Now, Lingbane Ravager, not very good against air. I hope that is not a surprise to you viewers and listeners. So here comes that aforementioned Sky Fleet of Timbo. Now, there was a nice little fungal in there, but there is no follow-up. He used all his biles already, and Yellow Jello is saying, "Welp." Is that a GG Welp? I mean, he still has a lot of money, but no real answer to this golden armada of the Protoss player. And looks like Yellow Jello perhaps resigning, essentially. It's just sitting on 5,000 minerals, not really sure what to do. And yeah, Viper is going to pop out, but they don't have enough energy to do anything, and they're all going to go down. It looks like Timbo is going to be the one taking the series this time around. 2 more Vipers desperately trying to suck out some energy, but don't think it's going to be enough. This one should have... oh, never mind. It dies as well, and with it, Yellow Jello's hopes and dreams of victory will go down the drain. Protoss Sky Fleet proving to be too much, as it often is. GG gets called, and Timbo Slice winning the series.